Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Lapointe, Research Professor with Florida Atlantic University's Harbor Branch Oceanographic Institute. I'm a long-term resident of the Florida Keys, where I've spent decades studying water quality issues. The Keys is where I conducted my first septic tank study, which allowed me to expand that research to other areas of Florida. This project with the Florida Chamber of Commerce allows me and my colleagues to share our research so that the public can better understand how human activities are influencing Florida's water future.
Here in the Florida Keys, we're not only an area of state critical concern, but we also touch important environmental boundaries. The Florida Keys National Marine Sanctuary, 3 other national parks, 5 state parks, 4 national wildlife refuges, and 3 aquatic preserves.
When I first moved to the Keys in '78, and then of course I was coming down before that as a kid in the mid-'60s diving, the waters were blue, it was clear. There were a lot of healthy corals. Today the water's more of a green, and the corals are, with fewer left, are in pretty sad shape.
As the Keys became more popular and more people moved there, they installed septic systems that leached and leaked onto the reef. Many businesses had package plants that used shallow injection wells to inject into the porous substrata of the Keys, which essentially flushed it out to the reef with every tide.
The algae blooms in the last few years have really been getting worse. It starts off growing on the bottom and on fixed objects, and then it breaks loose and flows with the current and catches on our trap ropes. A line of traps that normally would take an hour to pull can sometimes take 3 or 4 hours, and it's a real economic problem.
In the mid-1990s to the early 2000s, we measured declines in live coral cover of about 40%, as well as declines in elkhorn coral of approximately 90%. And these declines in coral cover were correlated with changes in water quality that occurred in the Florida Keys during that time period. Other studies have shown that there were unprecedented algal blooms in the Florida Keys during that time.
There are probably as many economic considerations as there are environmental. I mean, I see real estate people now coming forward. I mean, it affects their ability to sell real estate. It affects a homeowner's property values. You know, that may be as important as in moving forward this whole idea for septic tank replacements as anything we've got going.
Local waters can certainly be improved with a central sewage system, and that's on its way. And it's pretty obvious. You go to housing developments where they're on some type of central sewage, and the canals are nice. And I think what we're doing here in the Florida Keys can be an example to these other places of what needs to be done.
Marathon ended up being the focus of the pilot program to determine how well this centralized sewage system we were building was going to work. We began to see statistically definable water quality improvements, and secondarily, as you began to look at the near shore, up to 500 feet offshore from this canal system that was a part of our island here, you actually began to see improvements in the seagrass beds.
The Cudjoe Regional Water Reclamation Facility is a 940,000 gallon a day advanced wastewater treatment plant. We're getting the nutrients down to at least 95% removal rate from the incoming flow.
It is of critical importance to the country that this is preserved because there's no place like it. It's the last of our real coral reefs, and so if there's something we can do that makes it better, like have sewers, I mean, it's really a no-brainer.